episode 12, Rattled. And it's your boy Icon with a Netflix television review for you, going over that Cobra Kai. And the rest of the cast has returned. So in this episode, Tori came back, the Binary Bros came back, like other people returned. So in the aftermath, now that the Sekai Taikai is back on, the Russian dude. So I guess it's because they put the decision in LaRusso's hands. And then before we get started, hit the notification bell, like it or subscribe, and check out my other videos and give me those watch time hours, and let's go. So they put the decision in LaRusso's hands, and LaRusso chose to have the Sekai Taikai continue in the valley, aka we need to get the cat. We need to have a reason for the rest of the cast to be present, like at the end of as we conclude this whole thing. So what better way than to have it in the valley? So it's in the valley now, and everybody's trying to train. So like Robbie needs to train, Sam needs to train. Sam went to Tori to ask her to help her train because she's supposed to be in it too. The two of them were supposed to fight in the semifinals, and then we find out that Tori's not competing. She quit the Sekai Taikai. She quit Cobra Kai. She said she's not going to do it. Sam then asked her, she was like, well, can you at least help me train for it? Because she said, if you're not going to do it, that means I'm going to the finals. So Tori agrees to do that. The two of them are training. Everything's going good. They're actually getting along. She asked her why she's quitting, and then she said because every time she puts on the Cobra Kai gi, she loses people that she cares about. Sam told her how she's not going to school she's not going to school in California. She actually wants to go to Okinawa because she said that she heard stories from her father, and like Mr. Miyagi was from there, and she wants to go to Okinawa, to visit and be in a school program. But she's afraid of what Miguel and what her dad's gonna think. And I'm like, why would your dad have a problem with you going to Okinawa for a year? Like, if anything, like because it's specifically Okinawa, the birthplace of Mr. Miyagi, and everything, that's exactly why he would like it. He would. Miguel, I understand, but like your daddy, he ain't gonna have a problem with that. But then, so then the two of them were talking. She was like, well, make sure you just tell Miguel the truth and blah, blah, blah. And then they kept training. The Binary Bros, they come up with an IA computer-generated simulation to help Robbie train to fight, to fight Alex. It mimics all of his moves and all of his movement. And over the course, like in the beginning, he went from having a 12% chance of beating him to a 4% chance. But then Miguel talked to him, and he was just like, we don't quit. Like, this family doesn't quit. We don't say no. He's like, he's like, but I only have 4%. He said, well, get your, he's what he said. He said that statistics and numbers are for pussies. He said, get your ass out there and train and fight and be the best and don't let us down. Like stop playing. So he did that. The two of them started training, and his odds drastically improved. So Miguel's actually getting better at taking on like this big mountain of a man. Chosen now, he finally got the letter from the love of his life that he's been waiting for all series. And unfortunately, in that letter, she told him that she only likes him as a friend. So now he's devastated and heartbroken. Amanda and LaRusso, Daniel, they went to like a wine vineyard, and they brought Chosen with them because Amanda invited one of her friends, and they wanted to introduce her friend to Chosen. So the person who played the friend is good old Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell, aka Jesse Spano, and it was always nice. She still looks good, still looks beautiful. They said that she's her daughter. I think her daughter was the one that was dating Hawk, because she was all into that that earth shit, like all like the plants and the trees and all that spiritual stuff. So I think she's playing her mom. But so she talked to Chosen. Chosen wasn't down at first, but then the two of them started talking. She did a tarot card reading for Chosen, and then she said that in your future, someone's going to be waiting for you once you let go of the feelings of the past. And then he was just like, but there is no one. And then she was like, you sure there's no girl, no nothing? And then he thought about Kim. And it was funny because he said that we are from different worlds and we are totally opposites. It cannot work. And she was like, well, that's probably exactly why it would work. And nothing good is going to come out of you not doing anything. And because of that, because Kim said in the last episode, she was like, oh, you'll never see me again, Kreese. And I was just like, oh, like we're losing her character. Her character's off the show. But now that he said that, and now that they're doing the whole romance between them, she's obviously going to be in the finale when she finds out about the Sekai, maybe she's going to show up at the Sekai Taikai, but she's going to at least be in the final episode, or Chosen's going to pull up on her and see. And I'm predicting it now, like in the finale, her and Chosen are going to help train her grandfather's dojo and the students together. But that's basically where he's going with that whole thing. And then finally, because this was a filler episode. See, it's weird because it was a filler episode, but it was a needed filler episode. Because although it was a filler episode, it closed a lot of storylines, it progressed a lot of storylines, and it also gave us insight and closure to a lot of things as well. So this is actually one of the few times where I'm okay with a filler episode, because it did provide a lot, like to the show. So finally, Johnny Lawrence, he's trying to marry Carmen because he doesn't want her to have the baby out of wedlock. He's stealing roses from people's front yards. He's learning how to cook. He hired a violinist band and everything. He planned to marry her. Before he got a chance to actually propose to her, she ended up going into labor. She goes into labor. He brings the entire orchestra, the priest, his boy, the priest, and everybody to the hospital. The two of them get married in the hospital. So, like, they're married now. They ended up having the baby. They named the baby Laura after Johnny's mother, and now she's a part of the family. And then Johnny says to the kid, to the new baby, he goes, "Your brothers and I are going to bring you home a trophy." So that was basically how that ended, and thank you for tuning in. And this was their way of saying, like, this whole episode was just like, okay, now that we've got all the storylines and all the plots and everything out of the way, now we can get to the tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's not like, oh, the Sekai Taikai is going on, but what about the pregnant storyline? What about this storyline? They're like, nah, let's take care of all this shit right now, and then let's just spend the last 3 episodes based on the Sekai Taikai. The Russian dude came to the valley. He spoke to the chairman of the board. He beat one of them up so he can take over as the mayor of ceremonies or whatever. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm happy to see the Sekai Taikai unfold. I'm happy to see us back in business. Like I said, thank you for tuning in. So again, what do you think about this particular episode of Cobra Kai, the filler episode? And share your questions, and we'll talk about it on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, and YouTube, where you can leave your questions, comments, and concerns. Also, check out my other reviews, because I've got that wrestling for all you wrestling fans up on my channel, and I got Harley Quinn, and at some point, when I get the chance, we will also review that Captain America Brave New World. So that was it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. So to episode 13, when we get the Sekai Taikai action poppin'. Take care, and until then, we're at this.